The Senate was stunned by the senator from Ohio. Take a look at this clip over here with Senator Bernie Moreno from Ohio. And he comes up to talk about Israel after another senator had gotten up and parroting some of the lies that Hamas spreads in the media. So we'll watch this clip together and then talk about it. But first, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
I've been in the United States Senate now for a total of 125 days. I've seen some outrageous comments over the last 125 days. My colleague has been here exactly 12,000 days more than I have. And let me just set the record straight. On October 7th of 2023, families, mothers, fathers were sitting at home enjoying a peaceful existence in one of the most difficult places on earth to live. They had a day planned of joy at a festival. And what happened? People came over and savagely murdered children, raped women, took hundreds of hostages, killed more Jews than at any time since the Holocaust. What you just heard for the last 15 minutes could be summarized as the absolute propaganda of Hamas. Let me just be clear. This war started by Hamas. It could end today by Hamas if they released every last hostage, including an American citizen. We're sitting here in the United States Senate and not even saying a word of the fact that there's a U.S. citizen being held hostage by a terrorist group in the Middle East. That is outrageous. That should be at the top of the agenda. Why have civilians been killed in Gaza? Because they hide weapons in hospitals, in schools, in homes. Hamas is the enemy, not our greatest ally, which is Israel. I was just there 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I was there. You know, there's almost no Israeli that hasn't seen a mom, a dad, a son, a grandson, granddaughter that hasn't been either injured or killed to protect their country. The fact that we are disparaging our greatest ally at this level is completely outrageous. I had plans to go home, see my wife and kids. But I rose today because I cannot stay silent after listening to that kind of nonsense spewed here in the United States Senate. It's a disgrace, and we should not ever forget that Israel is fighting the war that we would otherwise fight. And with that, I yield the floor.
Well, good on Senator Moreno for standing his ground and combating with words the nonsense that is oftentimes spoken in the U.S. Congress about what's going on in Israel. He did clearly articulate what exactly is the issue, what's going on. And he did say that correctly that Israel is fighting the wars that America otherwise would have to fight. And Israel in that region dealing with the nations and conflicts and groups that it deals with would be something that America would have to deal with straight on. Because don't forget, a lot of those people in that region look at Israel as the little Satan and America as the great Satan. And if it weren't for the little Satan being there, they would be just constantly bombarding the big Satan, America, with all of their willpower. And now Israel's kind of like in the way and deals with it at the forefront, but America would be dealing with it head on if Israel were not an obstruction to that. He did mention that there was an American still being held hostage. Well, thankfully, from the time of this taping till now, Eden Alexander, the American that was hostage over there, has been released. Thank God. There are unfortunately some American bodies that are still over there. I believe there are 4. But America needs to understand what is going on over there. Israel is fighting a defensive war for its own survival. It's being hit on multiple fronts. It is doing the best that it can. And according to experts like John Spencer, for example, who is the world's leading expert in urban warfare, says that Israel's model of how it's executed this war is exemplary. And the civilian to combatant ratio over here is exemplary. And other militaries around the world should learn from the way in which Israel has conducted this war. He did also correctly point out that if Israel were to put down their weapons today, Hamas and other terrorist groups would completely destroy them. They'd go in and kill as many innocents as they could. However, if Hamas and the other groups would put down their weapons, everyone would be in peace. There is no two sides about this. There's no moral equivalency over here. Israel has the upper hand. Israel has the moral high ground over here. There's just really no other way to see it. If you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Take care.